carpet, it had old interior, it had roaches. Like,
drop the roof and let the smoke clear. I got diamonds doing just these slides in both ears. Dice rolling on the lawn.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do like a vlog style video today because I'm so used to doing a sit down video and it not transmitting the way I want to, because I'm trying to be consistent and I end up not being consistent because I'm so worried about the content. Like, I'll be overthinking everything. So I just want to come on here and I just want to talk. I want to vent about certain things, and I feel like there's a lot on my heart that I feel like I have to say. And sometimes I got a mosquito bite. Sometimes it comes off like advice, but I just have to say what I want to say. I want to get it out, and I feel like I have to keep reiterating that I feel like God has a plan for me. I feel like I have a purpose in this world, especially when it comes to dental hygiene, with helping people, and I just feel like I have so much to say. So my platform is really to just help you guys understand yourselves better, understand yourselves as clinicians, and just like, if this is something you want to do, then cool. If not, and just here for strict entertainment, I'm glad I'm entertaining you. Like, so please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and everything, and share this with everyone. Basically, I just wanted to do a story time on my first job as a dental hygienist. I kind of sat into it in another video if you already watched my page, but I wanted to get into it a little bit more. When I started my dental hygiene journey, I was very eager to start working, making money. I didn't have any like standards for what I wanted to do. I just know that I wanted to be like hyped up, have, you know, I don't want to say like rich girl energy, but I just was so adamant about making a good living so I can get a car, buy a house, go on vacation, travel. Like, I was so focused on taking care of myself and helping people that I didn't realize that I was doing anything and everything to try to be a desperate person within the field. Like, I was just taking any job, doing anything. So I was being naive. I was careless with how I was respecting myself when it came to being an employee. And I was just taking any job that you found. So when I started working, I was just so eager to force the situation to happen and not just be patient and let God do it. I went and applied to several temp agencies, and as soon as I got the first place that liked me, and I was consistent with working with them for a while, I was working with them for like 3 or 4 months, I was like, I'm gonna take this job because they offered me the job. That's the first mistake that I had, because I should have just decided, you know what, I don't really like this environment. I don't really like the people that work here. It's a very stressful environment. This doesn't work for me, really. Let me wait and see what's going to happen. Let me continue to work here and there. Or let me stop going here because I feel so stressed out and worrisome when I'm working here. Let me wait to find something that would be better for me. I did not do neither of those two, the latter of those two. I decided, you know what? This is the first job out of school. They paid me $38 an hour. The staff liked me, you know, hyped up energy. And I was just worried about the money. I was worried about the stability to say, okay, I have a permanent job. I am living the American dream. I got my job. I got my career. I got my money. Like, this is it. This is it. I neglected to realize that there are red flags within the working fields. I mean, again, I'm not beating myself up about it. I've forgiven myself now, but I would rather give you guys my honest opinion on this work shit, so you just know, like, you do not have to take the first job that comes across your desk. You do not have to work for a temp agency if you don't want to. You don't have to be desperate. I know right out of school you feel like, damn, like, financially this is where I'm at or whatever, like, but you should be going out of your way to find a job that really aligns with your values and your core values and things you like to do. So I ended up getting into this job, and the people there were very jealous of me. I was making more than they were, supposedly, which I didn't care about. I didn't even know until someone told me. As a hygienist, I was making more than them, which it doesn't matter. I'm good. But I just felt the animosity. It was one of those offices that was like 8 operatories, 8 or 9 operatories, 10 operatories plus. There were 4 hygienists, 3 doctors, specialists. Like, it was just crazy, really big, crazy office. And I should have known myself at that moment that wasn't the kind of environment that I needed to work in, because I like small learning communities. Like, the schools I go to, I like them to be like very small, close-knit, maybe 30 or 40 people in the class with me. The school I graduated from, University of New Haven, was probably like, New Haven is what, like 5,000 students. Like, it's the size of a high school or a little bit less than that. Like, I should have known that I wasn't going to be able to really like do well within that space. So anyway, I went in there thinking that I was going to dominate. I was going to be working there for a long time. And I ended up getting blindsided because the dentist who owned the practice wasn't a dentist in America. He was a dentist in another country, and he was looking at the dental space as an opportunity to do business. So he was just buying offices from retiring dentists who are older, buying them for millions of dollars, and then flipping them, changing the interior, updating it, making it modernized, and then trying to build a team and take his team and just like monopolize on all these different offices in the city that we're renewing. And I was asked to go to that new office Fridays and Saturdays. So I took the opportunity because I was money hungry at the time. I was trying to start saving to buy a car. I was trying to, get ahead of my student loans. I just had other things I was trying to do. I was trying to move out. I was trying to move too fast. I think I was 24 at the time. This is 2017. So, girl, I ended up working at his office on Fridays and Saturdays. This new office, red flag number 1, was owned by 2 older dentists who did not really get along like that. I don't know how they was in business together for so long, owning their own private practice, and did not like each other. Whole nother conversation. I got there. It was a 5-room operatory office in the basement of like a office building. Actually an apartment building, not an office building. And it was in the city too, but it was on the other side. I was like, oh, I could get home faster, all of that. The hygienist was there for over 30 years. This was her first and only job. Red flag number 2. She was ostracized by the staff there so much that she would not come to work on time. And when she did, she would be so mean and so rude to all the patients. She was very rough, supposedly. Like, patients, all of them needed topical gel. Like, none of them could do a cleaning without any numbing gel because she was so rough. And the doctors only gave her like 30 minutes for cleanings. So they were trying to extend the appointment time to be an hour once we got there, the new staff. So they extended it to an hour, but she was still working there part-time to help get everything situated. Sis was not taking x-rays. She was not probing the patients. She was not checking on gum health. She was not initiating anything. She was not enforcing oral hygiene for patients. She wasn't making sure that, if she saw something like a filling or a crown broken, that she advocate for the patient. And the doctors honestly didn't give a fuck anymore. Like, they were just letting the office get run down. The office still had carpet. It had old interior. It had roaches. Like, and I was working there on Fridays and Saturdays for like $40 an hour. $2 more than what I was making at my permanent job. So I was working 6 days a week permanently at this other office on Fridays and Saturdays, and then at the other one permanently full-time, right? Keep up with me. Keep up. The manager was friends with the dentist. The front desk was horrible. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know how to collect insurance. They didn't know how to do any payments. It was just a shit show. It was a shit show. So me and this other girl from another office walked in. 2 black women. Me and her come in, and we're very oral hygiene based people. Like, we're coming in, we're like, crown 2, 3, 4 needs a filling. This needs that. You don't have a water pick, you don't have electric toothbrush, you're not flossing, they wasn't taking medical histories. Like, the office was a mess. So they fired all the old staff. I found out that the dentists that own the practice are now on a 5-year contract. So they sold the practice to the dentist I worked for. But they sold their practice to him, and they still had to work for him for 5 years. So I found that out, and not the doctors signing for a 360 deal and becoming employees, but not getting as much money as they used to before. Amidst all of this happening, there were patients who were indulged in such advanced periodontal disease, gums and teeth and everything loose and mobile. X-rays that were being taken now, patients weren't transitioning really well. They were like, I've never had to take this many X-rays before. What is going on? Why does this cost this much? Who are you? Where's the lady? Like, insanity. Every other month, the dentist I worked for was having a monthly meeting. Mind you, he already owned like 3 other offices, so it was just a mess. Like, he was kind, he was nice, but he wasn't a good manager. What happened in the office, he wouldn't like go out of his way to like see how you were doing afterwards or transition into it. He's just like, girl, it was just such racist going on. Like, he would come to the office and be like at the time I had like pink braids in, which was, I was losing it, but he was like, you making sure to have your hair back, it's not touching the patients, right? Excuse me? Like, I could do whatever I want to do with my hair. It is not your business. Like, I had on caps, you know, like I was doing what I needed to do. And he was just like, to the assistants, he was like, y'all can't be back here speaking Spanish. People are uncomfortable. We're putting in the company policy that you can't speak different languages when you're in here unless it's for a procedure to translate for the patient. Like, he was doing such illegal work practices. Like, it was horrible. This new manager and me and the manager got into it, and that is how I ended up quitting this job. This manager, I will not name his name, and I will not name his office. I will not name the location it was at either. This manager was on some totalitarian Mink dynasty like type shit. Like, he came in trying to cut off necks and heads. He thought by writing people up and like firing people, like that was gonna be the way to prevent all these things from happening. And it was like, no, the people that are here are stuck in their ways, and there's too much strong-minded people here for you to be doing that. And on top of that, he hired this manager, and he wasn't even a dental professional. He's never been a dental professional, never been a manager of a dental office, and a dental assistant, a dentist in another country, nothing. One day that it was so hectic, I didn't get a chance to finish my notes, and the manager decided that he was going to put my name on top of the schedule. When I came back on Monday, I saw my name on top of the schedule, and it said, Tiaya, please see me. Like, it was like a little note box on top of the schedule that said, Tiaya, please see me. So I was like, I think this is really ironic. Like, my friend I was working there at the time, she was like assistant manager / insurance coordinator. I ended up being friends with her because me and her would just trauma bond on the fact that this job was horrible. He brought me into the office, and he was like, I see you don't have 2 notes done, and I see you're missing perio charting. I was like, yeah, like, I spoke to the assistant manager and I spoke to the dentists that are there and told them that I was going to do those notes later on because I was tired. Like, I'm working 6 days a week. Like, I'm good. I'm gonna do it today. Like, that's why I came in early. He was just like, oh, you're doing too much overtime, and when you're done with your notes, they have to be done the same day. There's no leniency on that. We have to bill out to insurance same day. So, me being the strong-minded, aggressive woman that I am in a professional way, I said, this office is being run like a mill. The patients are coming in here in a new transitional period with new dentists. And if there's not a new dentist, a new staff member. And I don't have enough time to do notes and perio chart if I have to clean up messes from the past owners of this office without a hygiene assistant. So unless you're going to have someone come back here and help me probe, or have someone help me do my notes when I'm dealing with a patient who is scheduled for a prophy, but they have a 7mm pocket that give periodontal disease and I have to refer them to perio, and your dentists who are older and retired don't want to back me up on that, there's an issue. There's an issue with autonomy and advocacy for the patients. So for me to give you my best and give you my all, I would need a hygiene assistant, and that is why my notes sometimes aren't done. Are they getting done same day? No, sometimes. But am I coming back and making sure the notes are done? Yes, they end up getting done. And I already spoke to the 2 people of authority to see if that could be done. He was like, you're being insubordinate because basically what you're telling me. I said, do you know the meaning of insubordinate?
I'll wait.
Because I didn't say I was not going to do the notes. I said a solution to the problem, which is how I am, problem solving, is for you to give me a hygiene assistant or have one of the front desk girls come and help me probe. Help me clean my room. The front desk and the back end is 2 different things. He's just like, you're being very aggressive right now. Mind you, this person is black. I don't know if that means anything to the story, but he was one of them, like Carlton, you know, bow tie to work every day. Mind you, he don't even need to be dressed like that. Like, what? Like, you don't have an office. You sit in the corner at a desk that he got from IKEA. Be fucking for real. Like, so I say all that to say I ended up getting written up, but I didn't sign the write-up. Don't sign write-ups, y'all. Do not sign write-ups. Do not sign a write-up. I ended up getting written up, and I said that I didn't want to sign the write-up because I didn't feel like I was being insubordinate. And I understand how insurance goes, but in order for me to have a better inkling on my time management skills, I would need for someone to help me. And if that doesn't work for you, then cool. So I got an email the next morning, and I came into work, and he said that my schedule, he had a whole nother hygienist in there. I walked in the next morning after that conversation, and he had a whole new hygienist in there as a temp. And I was like, blindsided. I'm like, what's going on? He was like, oh, you don't work today. You're suspended. What? Suspended? Like, I'm like, that can even, I didn't even know that could even happen. Like this manager had a personal vendetta out for me because I was standing my ground. I was talking back. I was not going to let him run all over me. And I was not just going to say, okay, yes. Yeah, sure, massa. I wasn't just going to do shit because he wanted me to. I'm like, I'm coming with evidence-based facts that come with it. And it just was a mess. So I'm like, okay, copy. Why didn't I quit at that moment? I don't know. So I call the boss over everybody. And I'm like, yo, what's up with this person trying to get me like out the office? And he was just like, oh, well, you know, we have to do insurance, and your notes and stuff being late is really an issue. Like, we have to find a solution to the problem. You know, you're messing up collections by doing that. Like, everybody else get their numbers done. Like, why you can't just put 55555 going across the perio chart? Like, why do you need to perio chart? So you want me to lie about the health of these people, which is against my license, against my autonomy as a hygienist, so you could charge out their cleanings, which aren't cleanings at this point because everybody in this office had perio, just so you could get your billing out? That's crazy. You don't give a fuck. Like, that's literally what happened. Like, he did not give a fuck. And so you're gonna let this manager run all over me just so you could get your money. Copy. So I looked at the office and I said, okay. I said, all right, cool, bet. So I was off the Tuesday and the Wednesday, unpaid suspension, right? So I ended up temping those 2 days. And then once I temped those 2 days, I ended up leaving, and I was like, I'm not coming back there. Like, I'm dead ass not coming back here. I tried to call HR on him. Mind you, him and HR was fucking, so it ended up not even being anything like solution based. And I left that job. I told that whole story just to tell you guys, follow your instincts. If you see red flags with these jobs, I know there's certain things you just can't control, but make sure you know, like, you don't have to pull up with bullshit. Just because you're a new person in this job does not mean you need to put up with bullshit. That does not mean that you need to put up with craziness. That doesn't mean you need to fight for your pay or anything like that. You can go work wherever you want to work at, and you could be surrounded by whoever you want to be surrounded by in the workplace, and you'll be just fine. So I'm gonna end this story time here, and I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.
Drop the